are there, once you come onto your backs, you can choose to take your legs long and kind of fidget around and see how you can land nicely and softly. You can use the support underneath of your knees if you have a couch pillow or a bolster. Feel free to do that. The other option is sometimes coming flat on our backs is really not comfortable. Every day, is different. So you can always take your feet to the floor, take your pinky toes towards the outside edges of the mat, and then make your way on your back and then draw the knees towards each other. Just let them fall in towards one another and see how that feels. Be conscious of not trying to push your lower back down to the ground. Maybe even take a couple pelvic tilts back and forth. So hands maybe to the side with the palms facing down, and then just lift your belly up, let your pelvis tilt up, and then draw down. Belly comes towards the spine, but just really gently. You can rock a little. And then just notice your natural spine, just a little curve, so some little bit of space. Then you can slowly open up the arms, flip the palms and slide the arms a little bit away from the body. Maybe lift your chin slightly away from the chest. And you can always experiment, keeping the knees bent and then also taking yourself long, and then just find a place where you can land softly. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. And in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Last time, think of as you inhale, receiving. And then as you exhale, releasing. Maybe soften a little through the cheeks if you want to open up your mouth and move your jaw around to let go of any clenching. Or just stretching the skin a little bit. We're just finding our way into some stillness, practicing the art of being. Taking a moment to notice your natural breathing rhythm. Where do you feel your inhalation? No forcing. Just feeling and listening. And maybe some awareness to your exhalation. Just what is the sensation when you feel that exhalation? Is there a little softening that you feel? A little awe somewhere? Imagine that with just the weight of gravity that you're creating a new blueprint of your body today. As maybe you deepen the breath a little bit more, notice the fullness and the receiving. And then as you exhale, releasing, maybe imagining that the breath is going down in the upper back, between the shoulder blades, the back of the shoulders, creating a little more broadening each time you breathe. Very, very subtle. Next time that you inhale, maybe think of the inhalation as a nourishing breath. And the exhale as a cleansing breath. And then just noticing any physical sensations that arise. And checking in with your mental body and knowing you can always imagine that those thoughts are just clouds and just let them float by. You can certainly pick them up later after class if you need them. Just think of them as just soft and floating, softening each time you breathe, creating more space in your mind. Presence isn't something that we intend, it's something that we allow. So if we physically feel better, it's a little easier to allow the sensation of listening and the sensation of feeling better, feeling softer, expanding. And then the next time that you inhale, just gently move the arms and bringing both hands to the belly. So one maybe right below the belly button and then the other above the belly button, or somewhere just stacked one, not on top of each other, but above and below. And then take a deep inhalation through the nose and then let it out through the mouth. Take that again and notice your shoulders. Inhale fully, exhale fully. And then this time as you inhale, notice the belly rising. Maybe you even feel the rib cage start to rise. Breath moves all the way up, maybe into the chest. And then exhale, soften the chest. Rib cage softens, and then belly draws back in, dropping towards the belly button. Or belly button towards the spine, sorry. Inhale. Try not to over effort. Create that feeling, noticing the rising of the belly. Rib cage expands all the way into the chest, and then exhale, shoulders soften, chest softens, rib cage drops, and belly drops, pulling in towards the spine. Try a few more at your own pace. Inhaling, think of expanding and growing bigger from the inside out, and then as you exhale, exhaling completely, making room for your next inhalation. And then you can come back to your natural breathing rhythm. And then slowly bring the left hand up to the heart or to the chest, and then keep the other hand on the belly. Move it somewhere else if it's more comfortable. And then inhale. Feel yourself expand. Belly pulls down towards the feet as the chest rises up towards the head. And then exhale. And then just soften to your exhalation, no effort. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. And then slowly slide the arms to the sides. Keep your eyes closed. And then just be there. Again, seeing what arises. Listening to the feedback that your body is giving you. And then notice, is there distance between the shoulders and the ears? Maybe a little less tension in that area. And then placing keep your left hand on your heart, bring your right hand on top. And then just take a moment to reflect on something that you're grateful for at this moment. Maybe even a little extra gratitude for your body and all that it's doing to keep you alive at this very moment. And then when you're ready, you can keep your eyes closed, but just reach the arms up over the top of the head. If you have the knees bent, you might want to open up the knees away from each other and then just slide the right leg forward and then the left leg forward. Give yourself a big stretch, so maybe the back of the palms are towards the floor. And then you're reaching the shoulders, they're almost touching, your biceps are touching your ears. That's okay. You can flex or you can point. And then just relax everything. Take an inhale, try that again. Inhale and reach, reach, reach. Press through the heels or the toes, and then just let it all go. Reach. And slowly bend your knees. Let your elbows slide down towards the sides. And then open up the arms again. Just slide the back of the arms, the back of the palms, up and down a few times. It doesn't matter how far they go. It doesn't matter if they touch. Maybe your shoulders are not feeling it to go all the way up. So just go up and down a few times. Your feet are on the floor. Good. And then we're going to draw the knees in towards the chest. So hold underneath of the back of the knee and just draw the knees in. And you can relax the elbows, let gravity do the work. Rock your head a little side to side. Or if you're feeling a little bit more energetic and you want to squeeze, holding the front of the shins, feel free to do that. And you can actually then now feel that back lengthen and feel the back pushing towards or landing the lower back towards the mat. Good. So stay there, breathe. If you're squeezing, squeeze and then let go. If you're holding under the knees, just relax. And then we'll all meet back with the hands on the kneecaps and then circle around. So drawing the knees away from each other towards the side of the body and then towards the front of your mat and then in towards the chest. If you want to play around with rocking the head, that's fine too. And then we'll circle in the other direction. So if you started with going towards the front, then bring the knees in and then circle this direction. So it should be nice and loose and soft. Just giving a little love to your hips. Some circulation around the hip socket. Good. And then take the knees towards the front. So bring them closer together and then in towards you, just gently, like you're just rocking them back and forth. Just as far as your arm length, soft, and then bring them back to the center, and then a little to the right and a little to the left. So it's really not a big sway side to side. It's just a little dip one way, then the other way, and then start to scissor the legs back and forth as you go side to side. So one knee goes forward, the other one comes back. Relax your shoulders, and then maybe let your head rock with you. Good. And then you can kind of start opening the knees a little bit wider as you're taking one knee forward and then the other knee forward, so that you're growing the width between the knees. And then you can create some other shape if that feels good. If drawing them out and then in a circle is good, just kind of play around there. And then hold underneath of the knees. You can keep them wide. Lift your head, tuck your chin a little to the chest, and then lengthen the back of the neck, and then let the shoulders relax. Good. And then start to bring the knees back towards one another. Drop your left foot to the floor and your right foot up. Sure you can see my whole body. And you're going to hold underneath of the thigh, and you're just going to point and flex your foot. So point and flex, your hands might be interlaced behind the thigh, bend as much as into the knee as you need to. If you want more of a hamstring, we're going to do that in a second. And then rock, or roll, I should say, rock and roll that foot around in a circle. Take it in the other direction. And then again, keep a big bend into the knee, take your fingertips and go up and down the leg. So you can get all the way into the foot if you'd like to. Give your foot a little extra love. Whatever you want to do. It's your own free massage. So if you use those finger pads, you give some friction there. You start to feel a little warm from the circulation. And you can start to, as you're massaging that leg, you can start to maybe straighten the leg a little bit more or lengthen the leg and point and flex. So while you're in that contraction, getting the massage is a little extra special. And then from here, you can keep the leg up in the air and then float the foot down to the ground, or you can point the toe and then reach the toes towards the front of your mat and relax the foot down. So either way, float the foot so that it comes to the ground, keeping the knee bent, or let the leg go long. And then slowly take the left leg, keep your hands on your belly, and then just notice anything different between one leg and the other. Take a big breath in. Receiving, exhale, and releasing through the mouth. And then slowly bring both legs up. We'll go to the other side. So lift up your hips a little bit. Lengthen your hips towards your heels. You can lower the lower back down and then relax and then go ahead and get into that soft tilt of the pelvis so you have that space. And then hold behind the thigh. And you can point and flex here. Relax the shoulders, maybe rock your head a little side to side to make sure that you're not creating any tension in the face, in the back of the head, and the neck. And then roll the ankle around. Maybe close your eyes and actually notice if this ankle feels any different than the other. You can remember it being easier or a little bit more tricky. Good, and then point and flex a little bit, and then we're gonna start to massage the leg. Same thing, using your finger pads to go up and down, maybe avoiding sliding on your shins with your finger pads, just the sides. You did the foot, go ahead and do the other foot. Give it some love. You can take your fingers through your toes, you can get real creative. And eventually, maybe creating a little more length in the leg, or imagine that you're just pressing the heel and the foot up towards the ceiling as you're still creating that warm circulation to lengthen the muscles and tendons a little bit. And then you can, both hands on the belly, relax the shoulders, just float the foot down to meet the other, or you can point the toe and reach that leg long, 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 and then bring it down to the ground. Let the right leg meet, take the legs a little bit wide towards the outer edges of the mat, and then open up your arms maybe to a Y shape, and then a little activation, press either through the heels or point the toes, either way, just like we did before. Palms are facing down, back of the arms. Maybe hover the arms a little bit, reach through the fingertips, and then just relax. Good. And then slide the arms down to the sides as the feet come in towards each other, and then slide the feet away. Take the arms above the top of the head. That's that snow angel sensation. I'm sure we're all really happy that we don't have real snow to do this in for right now. But notice how that feels. This is kind of a nice thing to do first thing in the morning. Good. And then slowly walk the feet, draw the knees in towards the chest. You can hold underneath of the thighs, maybe lift the chin a little towards the chest, or you can squeeze in front of the shins and make it a little bit more active, engage your core, and then rolling the head down. Feel free to do that a couple more times, just tucking the chin, lowering, relax the shoulders, or squeezing and making a little more active. It's up to you. And then the next time that you exhale and relax, let the feet float up towards the ceiling. Tops of the feet are up towards the ceiling. And then we're just gonna notice the circulation. It's like very subtle sensation, letting that blood flow in a different direction here. You can take your hands to the belly, bend as much as you need to feel support in your lower back. Or you can make it more active by taking your hands underneath and relaxing the shoulders and being a little bit more active there if you'd like to. It's up to you. Stay there for 3 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Having some space between your knees will help your lower backs as you also bend into the knees. Nice. And then you're going to float your left foot down to the ground. And then you're going to hold behind the thigh of your right knee, behind the kneecap. And then you're just going to draw that knee towards the side, the right side of your body. If you want, you can add flexing the foot. It makes it a little bit more active. So remember, you can always dial it up or dial it down. Your left foot is going to walk a little bit closer towards the outer edge of the mat. So you have this kind of wide angle here. Sometimes bringing the knee, I don't want you to bring it in towards the chest. I want you to take it out to the side and then maybe use your elbow to help stretch here. And for future, using a tie, if you have a strap, it's great. But if you have a tie, like I have some ties and I'm going to bring them next time. But you can use a tie here and you're just baby. It's basically like half happy baby pose. This gets a little pinchy for me. So I use my left hand, kind of like I'm doing like a karate chop. And I just go right into the crease of my hip. And as I'm moving into this, because it feels really good here, but sometimes it's a little pinchy here. So I just place my fingers there to take up some space, to create more space. And then I just get a little opening here. And then we're going to slowly straighten out that right leg and then bring it back to the ground. Both feet are on the ground. Take your feet so that they're facing forward. Knees are about hip width apart. Relax the back. And then this time you're going to draw the left knee in. You're going to walk the foot away so the foot's in front of you quite a bit. It's not up towards your thigh. And you're taking your toes out slightly, and then you're just going to drop that and maybe holding here with the knee and just letting your right leg fall. Maybe that's a better place this morning for you. If you want to continue on and that you think it's okay, then you can take that foot up towards the ceiling, hold behind the thigh first, and then draw the knee towards the side of the body, in and towards the side. So not low and out, bringing it in. Like think happy baby pose is this. So we're just doing half happy baby pose. When you let this knee and thigh draw out to the side, the right knee and thigh, you're getting a little bit more opening there. And if you have a strap, you can use the strap or a tie. You know, you didn't know that ahead of time, so that might not be an option. It may be totally different over here. Definitely feels a lot better on this side. So you may have the opposite feeling, or maybe it's good or bad on both sides. Take that hand again, and you can slide it right in that hip crease. You'll feel the hip bone, and then you can you have some, actually do it with the right hand to the left side so that you have some space and relax the shoulder. Feel free to give me feedback after this and say, don't ever do that again. Or, oh, that felt great. All right, take one more nice deep breath in, exhale out, and then slowly start to bring the knees back towards the center, float the foot down. Take your feet wide and let the knees draw in towards each other, arms float out to the sides. Good. And then you can open up the knees, keep the feet wide. Maybe bring your hands to the belly. Doesn't matter, they can be stacked on top or one above the other. And then just let your right knee fall to the side, maybe only like 30% of your range. And then sliding to the left knee first, and then the right follows. So you're stair stepping the knees. Good, and feel your hands just slide and glide side to side. You can eventually go a little bit further. Just checking in. That was kind of a big movement, that happy baby. So kind to your hips here. And eventually, if you'd like, you can take the arms away from the belly and take them out to the sides, straight like a T, or even cactus. The safest place for your lower back, if you have tension in your lower back, or if you had any challenges, or for therapeutic reasons, it's great to keep the hands to the sides. Relax the elbows for your lower back. Moving the arms changes the sensation, and it starts to move up a little more into the side body, into the shoulders. You're going slow. You're inhaling through the center. You're exhaling and floating side to side. Should feel like a nice massage on the lower back. If it doesn't, then change it up. Don't go so far. Slide the hands down. And again, like I said, you can always change the arms. You can change your range using that breath. You can add taking the eye gaze in the opposite direction of the knees. And if at any time it feels good for you just to stay there and take a breath in and out, feel free to do that. I'm just going to go 2 more times on each side. Good. And then walk the feet really close in so that your heels are coming close towards your glutes here. And then placing the hands down to the sides. Lift your chin a little bit and then lengthen the back of the head towards the back of your mat. Palms are to the sides. Relax the shoulders. And then we're just going to lift the hips up a little bit. So you're going to start to feel a stretch and some activation in the front of your quads. And stay here. And then lower down. And then let that curve happen as you lower down and relax. And then inhale, just rise up. So it's really just a short distance that you're lifting up. You feel the feet, the heels especially engaged, and then lower down. So try that a few more times. It's a really tight bridge pose here. The other option is to, when you come up, you can start to lift the heels, maybe thinking about coming onto your toes and then coming down. You're not going to get a huge range in the front of the body. It's just a different sensation. Relax your face, move your jaw around, no clenching. One more time, however you choose. Good, and then lower the back down nice and slow. Lift up your right foot and then your left, and then just a tender little lift of the knees towards the chest. Again, lift your head slightly and then pull the shoulders and the elbows towards your hips as you lengthen the back of the neck, and then relax everything. Nice. Float the legs up towards the ceiling, give them a big flex, and then see maybe if you can be a little bit more active. Take the hands like you're pressing. It's almost like you're doing a forward fold on the ground, right? So your hands, not that my hands don't touch the ground like this, but imagine everything is pressing up, and then point, take your fingertips up, take the fingers and the palms in towards each other, flex one more time, spread out the fingers, and then flip the right leg down and then the left leg down. Okay, and you can lift up your hips and roll yourself over onto either side and make your way up to, I think we're going to move straight to our hands and knees. And once that you are there, come to your neutral table, but take your time so your feet are right beyond your knees. Knees are about hip width apart. Once you're there, take your time and then just bump the hips a little to the right and to the left. So it's almost like a little pendulum here, bending into the elbows as you switch back and forth. And then start to walk your hands coming onto your forearms. Walk your hands a little bit more in front of you. Keep your hips high and start to feel a nice length in your back. And keep going to whatever is accessible or feels good for you today. If you have a block or a pillow or a blanket, you can put it in front of you to rest your forehead here. And you can also experiment with lengthening the arms in front of you, so it gets that's a little bit more into the shoulders. So be mindful of that. Taking 3 more breaths in your puppy pose. And then slowly just slide the elbows back so that you don't have as much of a shoulder extension here. And then just coming to your puppy pose, just glide a little back and forth. So try to keep lift your head up off the ground and then draw your elbows. If you have them out wider, bring your elbows in. I like to just even use my fingers, take them right to the crease of the elbows. And then I feel nice and supported with my bones stacked. And then just shimmy back and forth a few times. Maybe rounding a little, taking your chin towards your chest. So it's almost like a little cat-cow here as you're inhaling forward. You feel like your chest rises slightly, and then as you go back, a little rounding, or just keep the chin a little tucked and go back and forth this way. Now think about externally rotating the shoulders as you go back and forth. So instead of when you're rounding, then broaden, rounding, and then broaden the shoulders. Good. And then if you have a support, again, like a couch pillow, bolster, maybe a little much, but either a blanket or a bolster, you can slide it behind on top of your calves. So you have some support there, bringing the ground up. We're just gonna flow a little bit here from child's pose to cow pose. So coming to your neutral table, you're gonna come back towards child's pose. You don't have to go all the way down. Go as far as it feels comfortable to you. Get that nice stretch with the arms in the front. And then as you slide the arms up, come into your cow pose. So you're arching the back, the shoulders are rolling away, and you feel that nice lift in the chest. Try to keep your eye gaze just beyond the front of the mat here, instead of up towards the ceiling. Exhale as you go back. You can get the big stretch here, or you can just stay on your forearms. Just notice how that feels. And then as you inhale, let the shoulders move away, letting the chest rise. So try that a few more times. Create and adapt the pose to the sensation that feels best to you. Get a little rounding as you come up, and then coming into your cow. Exhale. And inhale. Good. One more time, back and forth. And you're going to come back to your neutral table, and then we're going to add on one more thing, which I think we've done a couple times. So coming into your neutral table, take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale to your cow. Exhale through child's. Inhale as you slide the arms forward. Come into your inhale. So now you have the arms further away from you. Maybe even slide the knees back slightly and just let the hips drop. And then inhale. Exhale as you go back through child's. Inhale, come up. So you're in your neutral table with the arms over the shoulders, taking your cow. Exhale back through child's. Slide the arms forward, coming up, and then just drop the hips a little bit. If you want to add doing a little push up there, you're welcome to do that. You can take a couple little pulses. You can certainly just make sure that you lift the core and you keep the elbows in nice and close. My arms are a little far away from doing that. So you can add that if you'd like. Just 2 more times through your flow. Inhale. Exhale through child's. Inhale, sliding forward. And then we'll all find ourselves in child's pose. You can take extended child's pose if you want to open up the knees, feet come towards one another. Again, it's really great to have a support here. You can come to your elbows, use your block. If you want to experiment. or come right into your child's pose. And reconnect with your breath here. Inhaling and receiving. Uh-oh, I'm back. Sorry, it looks like I maybe got pumped out or something, but I'm back. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear you fine. Delia? Hi.
Delia's there.
Delia, you're muted right now.
Yeah.
Unmute your microphone.
We're opposite.
Now you can hear all us.
Unmute. There we go. Woo! Back in business. Sorry about that. All right, so if you want to use a support underneath of your knees, feel free to do that. I'm on like carpet and cushy, so I don't really need it, but it's definitely a good way to go. And you can also set it up so that you have it underneath your shins as well. All right, so once you're there, take an inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth as you rise the arms up, take the hands to the sides. And then you're just gonna drop I'm gonna face this way now. So make sure you're nice and stacked. So your knees are under your hips, your feet are behind you, they're not touching. You have a nice foundation there. And then just drop let's go with the right ear this time. Right ear down towards the right shoulder. Inhale and exhale. And then you can take this right hand and just slowly take it to the thigh. Bend the left arm, take it up towards the ceiling. And stay right here and just feel that, nice opening a little bit more through the chest. Or you can continue to slide the right hand down, reaching fingertips to the ceiling, or you can continue to side bend. If you decide to side bend, then almost think about your palm pressing down towards the ground, and you're pressing into that right and left knee, not just sinking over to the right knee. And then inhale and come up. We'll try that again. So inhale, take the arms down to the sides first. Drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Take a breath in as you exhale. Connect the right arm, bend the left elbow, take it up towards the ceiling. And then just lengthen the left side of the body. Both knees are staying grounded. Or you can start to slide this right arm down. And maybe shake your head just for a moment. Shake it yes to make sure that you're okay with the neck. And then you can, again, think about the right ear just dropping. If you do decide to side bend, think about that palm as think about it pressing towards the ground. It's pretty active. You might even use your core if you're gonna go for this deep side bend. And then use your inhalation to bring you up, up, up. Exhale and release. One more time, so either dial it back or you can dial it up, it's up to you. Hand is towards the right thigh, it's just gently there. Bend the left elbow, take it up towards the ceiling, reach, 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 and then slide as you just feel the ear dropping. And then you can always shake the head, yes, or actually this would be a no. And then use your inhalation to bring you up wherever you are. Let both arms come down. Take a breath in, take a breath out. Take your arms, before we go to the other side, take your hands behind you, placing one palm on the lower back and then the other palm on the lower back. You can switch it up and be more active, taking the hands around, taking the palms this way. A lot more heart opening there, but maybe start here and see where your shoulders are. Take a breath in through the nose, and then imagine that you're drawing the skin down with the back of the palms here as you tilt a tiny bit forward with the hips. And then you feel the chest rising up towards the ceiling. It's a really great, so I have a lot of, I'm really using my palms here, and I'm not pushing forward necessarily. I'm sliding down. I feel my shoulders activated. I'm lifting up, using my knees, pretty active. I feel really nice and broad through the collarbone. If you have your hands here, same thing. You imagine you're sliding down with the palms, and then you're lifting the chest up. It's a lot through the shoulders, and then you can relax. And then we'll go to the other side. So this time, you're going to take your left hand, just gently to the left thigh, and then bend into that right elbow. Drop the left ear a little bit, and then start to slide. Maybe it's just half an inch, a quarter of an inch. Reach, reach, reach with the right fingertips. And then you can stay here. Or you can continue to slide, left arm down, and take that side bend. Remember not to collapse here, so it's really not about how far over the arm goes. It's really about getting that expansion, heart opening, and you can press, imagine the palm is pressing towards the ground, and you've got both knees connected, so maybe a little bit more weight into that right knee if you feel like you're letting it come off the ground. And then inhale, come up. So it can be nice and soft and feel really a nice way to listen to what's going on, or you can make it more active and dynamic depending upon what your body's looking for today. Just listen and know what feels good. You can go ahead and shake your head yes. And then use your inhalation to come back up. Last time. Straight up with the fingertips, maybe relax the shoulder a little bit and feel that nice opening on the right side, or continue over to your bend. I'm going to take my hand behind my head for a moment because it just feels a little bit better to open up over here. And then slowly come back up. Awesome. And then roll out the shoulders. Roll them forward. Nice. All right, and then we're going to take your right foot and you're going to take it out to the side. Keep a big bend into the knee here, and the toes are going towards the mat. I don't know which way would be your forward and your back. Let's say the forward of the mat. And then just stay here and notice how that feels. Take your left hand to your right below your right hip bone, and then just notice and see if you're kind of turning to the side towards the knee, or if you can rotate a little bit more. You're going to feel a big stretch here, so make sure that you're not rotating too much, right? So just it's very, very, very subtle. And then you're going to take your arm with the right arm with the back of your right palm, and then stay here. So there's lots and lots of different variations here that you can take. You can take this left arm and you can wrap it around. If you'd like to, you can take it into a heart opener here, keeping the hand and taking a heart opener. Probably getting a little bit of opening here. I hope that you are. And then you can also take a side angle if you want to. If you take the side angle, you're actually using your arm to draw the skin forward or back. Right, so I feel a lot more when I have it here and the palms facing up. Or just hang out right here, wherever you are. Relax the shoulders and the face. Let's say 3 more breaths. Try to keep the energy lifted. So it might be that you're thinking, okay, enough with the knees. Let's move on. So try not to let everything sink into your joints. Keep your lift. You're rooting down and then you're also rising up. All right, enough with that. Then you're gonna walk the foot in, kind of heel and toe it together, bring it back, and then take a moment to close your eyes and just notice your hips. You can hold here and maybe notice your alignment. And then slowly we're gonna take, you can certainly bring your hands down to take that left foot to the side. And you don't really wanna have your toes, actually, you do wanna have your toes straight out because we're gonna bend the knee. Sorry about that. All right, could be a little bit different here. Mine is not completely angled the same way on this side. So check in over here with this right hip and then just maybe a little tiny rotation where you're just opening this hip. And then find a place where you can stay and breathe. You can take the palm to the back here, the back of the leg, sorry, the palm is at the back of the left knee, and then hold here like you're rotating the skin open. So you're getting a little bit more of an opening here in this right hip, or just keep it on the hip and breathe. Rooting down, rising up. So keep the energy going up to feel the foot. Don't let the foot just go off duty. Press a little into the foot. If you want to take that side angle, you can do that as well. Using your hand to kind of glide the leg away, rotating the chest up. And then also the wrap of the arm around the back. Take 3 more breaths wherever you are. Inhale and exhale. And then you can slowly toe and heel your foot back, which means just rotate the heel and then the foot and bring that foot back. The knee here, you get to come on to the belly. So you can move that support if you'd like. And then come all the way down onto your belly. Once you get there, you can either take fists on top of each other or palms on top of each other and rest your forehead. Just shimmy out your hips and your feet. Let everything be loose. Maybe get a little bit more vigorous. So it shouldn't feel like it shouldn't feel uncomfortable in your back because your legs are just really loose. You're just moving back and forth. Good. And then you're going to take your feet and you're going to widen them a little bit more than hip width apart. Actually more towards go ahead and take them wide towards the corner of the mat. And then you're going to curl the toes and press into the heels. So you'll feel the legs come off the ground, the thighs a little bit, and then the shins and everything. And then you're going to relax into the top of the left foot. You're going to keep the toes curled of the right. You're going to keep your head down. And then you're just going to press away with that heel. Be mindful of not locking up your knee, meaning if you feel like it's uncomfortable or that it's locked, then give a little soft bend in the knee, but press through the heel. Feel nice length in the lower back, and then switch. Relax into that right foot. Curl the left toes. Lift the kneecap. Maybe the thigh, definitely the thigh comes up off the ground, and then stretch, pressing into that heel. Just let that other leg off duty. Relax both feet, and then try it one more time on each side. So it's helping lengthen here, especially like around the SI joint. This is a good exercise if you have tension or you kind of tend to get a little knot here around your SI joint. Lengthening through here, really, really nice. Go back and forth if you'd like, or hold for 3. Good. All right. And then bring your legs just a tiny bit closer in towards each other, bend the knees, and then just let the feet sway side to side. You can open up a little bit more if that feels more comfortable. So it really kind of depends on our structure. So you can experiment with closer together, further away, a little bit wider. You should feel nothing in your lower back. It should feel lovely and like you're just gliding, and it's not a big, huge range. I do tend to see a lot of times people take big range right out of the gate, and you want to kind of start slow and then move. If you want to add bringing one of your heels towards your thigh for a little more of a stretch, feel free to do that. You just want to bring the heel towards the thigh, and again, like a strap or a belt could be good. So maybe next time bring that and then switch to the other side. You can feel the calf stretch there, and then rock the hips out a little bit. And then when you're ready, we're going to come all the way over onto your back. And then once you're there, just quietly land yourself into your new shape. And noticing any sensations, check back in. Listen. Maybe even listening to that soft sound of your breath in through the nose. You can let it out through the nose, through the mouth first, and then in through the nose and out through the nose. And then slide your right leg in and your left leg in. And again, you can hold underneath the thigh. Just let gravity do the work here. Or you can squeeze in front of the shins. If you lift your chin slightly up and then lay the head back down, or you can come all the way up, rounding and curling. Give yourself a nice big squeeze and then float the legs up towards the ceiling again. You can use your hands here at the thighs. If you have a block, feel free to slide the block underneath the hips so the sacrum is right in the right spot there. And you can either leave your feet on the floor or you can let your legs come up. You could try a pillow here as well, or just let them stay floating in the air. You can play around with happy baby pose. Whatever it is that feels good to you to transition before we transition into our Shavasana. Keeping it light. I just like this pose because getting the legs above the heart is a little extra calming, and it's also a nice feeling on the lower back, a little more grounding. So take about 5 more breaths wherever you choose. And then whenever you're ready, moving into your final resting pose. And again, feel free to use any props. It can be nice to have a pillow under the knees or maybe support underneath the head. You can certainly keep your knees bent, taking that constructive rest with pinky toes out to the edge, letting the knees fall in towards each other if you prefer not to be flat on your back. If you have an eye pillow or sweatshirt, feel free to try that. Taking your time. Again, softly landing. Letting your new blueprint of your shape all start to integrate all the breath, movements, like circulation that you've created, all of the growing bigger from the inside out. This is the time for everything to integrate together while you rest, while you just be. Closing the eyes if you haven't already. Softening through the face. Allowing that exhalation to create an ah sensation throughout your whole being. Being carried by the waves of your breath, nourishing every cell within you. Just taking a few more minutes for your own body, mind, and spirit. Slowly bringing some awareness back to the body with some movements. So whatever might feel natural for you. Might be just rocking the head side to side. Keep the eyes closed as you transition. Transitions are all part of the yoga. How we move in space from thing to thing, from position to position. So ease yourself back into awareness. Drawing the knees in towards the chest. Just a soft hug. Maybe reaching the arms up over the top of the head if that works for you. And then rolling over onto your right side. And then again, just reflecting on something that you're grateful for at this very moment. Slowly making your way to a comfortable seat. Take your time. And then we'll all collectively open up our arms, rise them up towards the ceiling, the sky, bringing the palms together down to the heart. And remembering that Rumi quote that says, the quieter we become, the more we can hear. Thank you so much for coming and sharing all of your energy. Just by seeing your names, it makes me smile and gives me so much joy. And also for your effort for your own self-care, taking time to reconnect with yourself. So I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and namaste. Thank you, thank you.